Salute. How y'all doing? My name is DerrickCWilliams. I'm going to dedicate this video to Sticks Girl of Texas because I run with her. She good peoples. I've been banging the table recently with regards to fellow Gemini and incumbent President Donald John Trump and the fact that back in the late 90s, Jesse Jackson awarded Donald John Trump live on C-SPAN a diversity award for all of the great work that he's done for the African Americans. I don't refer to black people as African American. Anybody that has taken a civics class in America knows that that is a laughable term, African American. But at any rate, it's funny that there has not been a rapper alive in recent memory that has not name dropped Donald John Trump in a rhyme or two or three. Black folks as a rule, they love The Apprentice. High ratings for that show. And although I do not like Floyd Mayweather, he hit the nail on the head when he said with Donald Trump, there never was a problem until he became president. And all of the work that Donald Trump has done behind the scenes with regards to mopping up child predators and things of this nature, you have to give him a shout out for that. Now, yes, he was definitely wrong about the Central Park Five. It's my understanding he took out a major op-ed piece in the New York Times, and it would be refreshing if he would pull that back and retract that and say he was sorry and put a similar op-ed of his era about the Central Park Five. That would be nice. But at any rate, it's funny that people pick and choose what they want. The title of this presentation will be called Fellow Gemini Boyce Watkins and Selection Bias. And I'm just one man in the comment section on YouTube. Just for the fact that this man called my name out on his platform, I just had to put this on my channel. So I guess you can call this a clout chasing video. You judge. All y'all take care. Greenville, Mississippi till I die.
CNN has been lying since 2010. Yeah, CNN really got real messy with the propaganda. I was really disappointed because I used to believe CNN was one of those places where they had real journalists who would actually search for real facts. So in order to get my facts now, I do a couple of things. One, I go to online media. I like that. I like stuff with no spin. I just like data. Also, I'll watch a little CNN and MSNBC, and then I'll go watch a little bit of Fox so I can just kind of hear both sides. Because both sides actually have facts. It's just they have what they call selection bias. In statistics, we call this selection bias. Selection bias is kind of what like a defense attorney does in court. A defense attorney will give you accurate information as long as it exonerates their client, right? A prosecutor might give you some accurate information as long as it helps to prove their client guilty, right? So Fox is going to give you some facts that where you're like, damn, I didn't know that. Wow, tell me more about Hunter Biden and the hookers and the trip to, what was it, Yugoslavia or whatever, or the illegal business deals, because I believe all that. Hunter Biden, he's been smoking all the crack for 20 or 30 years. I mean, they ain't going to mention it, but Hunter Biden is something else. But then I'll go over, to CNN and MSNBC, and it's like, oh, Donald Trump, he's like, how many holes did he have in 1997? Ooh, this man is messy, right? So I kind of like to see all of that, but then what I do is I'll go to a neutral source, a source that's more fact-based, like a C-SPAN. C-SPAN is really cool because C-SPAN will actually let you watch the press conference instead of hearing somebody else's interpretation of the press conference. So this is where Alicia and I figured out what kind of game that they're on, is we watched the press conference from the governor of some state where he talked about COVID. We watched the whole damn thing. And then we saw a news report about the press conference on one of the channels, and they completely misinterpreted everything he said deliberately. We were like, we saw the press conference. He didn't do those things. He wasn't trying to say that, right? So that's when I learned that if you really want good information, you got to go right to the source, right? So anyway, let's see here. Derrick says, confirmed Jesse Jackson in 1999 gave Trump a diversity award, carried on C-SPAN. Look into it. Yeah. That's the thing. That's why politics is so stupid, because if Trump had run as a Democrat, they would be telling you that he's the most wonderful person in the world. They would literally tell you that he's his friend. Because if you go back just 5 years, rappers used to rap about Trump. They used to take pictures with Trump. All the civil rights activists used to love to brag about Trump being their buddy. Al Sharpton would bring him into the National Action Network events. Jesse Jackson was buddied up with him. You know, like he's hanging out, taking pictures with Shabba Ranks and stuff like that, right? But now it's kind of like, oh no, he's always been a racist. No, well, you obviously don't know how to Google back past the year 2012. If you can go back past 2012, you'll see that there's a 40-year history of Donald Trump's engagements with different people that paints a different picture. And the same thing is true with Joe Biden. Joe Biden is interesting. I think Joe Biden to me, here's what I think. When I think about Joe Biden, I see a political version of an Elvis Presley. Right? You know, like the really cool white guy who hangs out with black people, who likes to sleep with the black girls. Like, I bet Joe Biden and Donald Trump both have probably took a couple in the chocolate. They dipped in the chocolate at some point. And who can blame them? I mean, black women, my God, y'all are so gorgeous and amazing. I don't blame nobody for wanting a black woman, right? Because we are the original man, the original woman. Why wouldn't they want a piece of God, right?